It is finally here. The Week 1 college football predictions. I've been waiting for this. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. I've been waiting all off season long. Waited the entire spring, waited the entire summer, and now it's finally here. The Week 1 college football predictions. Johnny Talk Sports here to bring you my Week 1 2018 college football predictions. Those of you that are new, what I do is I predict 10 games every week. And right at the middle of last season, around maybe week 5 or 6, I added in 2 bonus games at the end. So you're going to get 10 predictions, and you're going to get 2 bonus games. So let's not even waste any more time with this because I know a lot of you were just anxiously waiting for some picks. So let's get them to you. We start off with the game on Friday night, San Diego State versus Stanford. Stanford number 13 to start off the season. A team that will be very dependent on Bryce Love this season, and I think it's going to be evident in this game. This is one of the losses that Stanford had last year. They're hoping to get redemption on, and I think they're able to pull that off. I think Stanford gets the win here. I think it's going to be by at least 2 touchdowns. I'm not going to say it's going to be by a 30-point blowout or a 40-point blowout. I think it's going to be by at least 2 touchdowns. Although anything could happen week 1. No one really knows what the teams are going to be like. Like, you can't really use any evidence in week 1 to determine a winner, like if this team has been running the ball better all season long, or you can't really use that season-long evidence kind of thing. You've kind of just got to wait and see what each team will bring to the table come week 1. So that's why I like week 1. Next, we got going on to the Saturday games, and also I like this week 1 of college football because there's a game on every single day on that weekend. So we're in the Saturday games now. Florida Atlantic versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma starting off number 7 in the country to begin the season post Baker Mayfield. Wouldn't that be something if Lane Kiffin could pull off an upset against Oklahoma in the first game without Baker Mayfield? I think that'd be awesome, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Kyler Murray has been waiting for this moment for a long time. The Texas A&M transfer, he's waited for his chance to shine in glory, and I think this could be it. If Oklahoma made the college football playoff, could Kyler Murray win the Sooners a national championship? He's got the athleticism. He's a very talented quarterback. I think Oklahoma wins this game. I wish it wasn't going to be easily handled, but I think they might handle it a little bit easier than what people are thinking. I hope that Florida Atlantic can keep it close for a little bit, but I think Oklahoma wins at the very end. Like they pull away in the second half. Number 23, Texas versus Maryland is the next matchup. Both of these teams. I think this is going to be a better game than what people are thinking. Both teams are going to play with something at stake, obviously. Texas are hoping to get a bounce-back win against Maryland after a loss to them last year, week 1. And Maryland, they're looking to honor their fallen teammate, Jordan McNair, who passed away in a drill this past May, I think it was. And with all the distractions going on at Maryland, like, there was an article that came out, it exposed the Maryland practice coaches, or it exposed the coaching staff with their tactics. So they were they were exposed. And with that distraction, how are the players going to come out and respond? Well, I just think these players want to play some football. Whether if it's win or lose, I think they're just happy to be back out there. I think this game can go either way, but I think Texas is going to come out on top with this one. I think Tom Herman is going to have his defense ready for this one, as the defense gave up 51 points in this game last year. And I think that Texas defense improved as the season went on. I think Texas gets the win here. I think it's going to be by about 10 to 13 points. Next, we've got Tennessee and West Virginia. The Mountaineers starting off number 17 in the polls to begin the year. Will Grier, quarterback, who is no stranger to facing Tennessee. In fact, the last time he faced Tennessee, a come-from-behind victory as the Florida Gators quarterback. Tennessee, with their debut of their new head coach, Jeremy Pruitt, the former Alabama defensive coordinator. I think this is going to be an interesting game. Even if West Virginia blows them out, it's going to be nice to see Tennessee at least have a coach that can be competitive like Jimmy Pruitt, who's learned tactics from Nick Saban. So I think West Virginia's going to win the game, but I really want to see Tennessee try to keep it close in this one. I got West Virginia winning. Next match, we got number 22 Boise State versus the Troy Trojans. I think Boise State is going to win this matchup here. Although Troy is not a team to mess around with, Troy ultimately did beat LSU last year in Death Valley, and they were very competitive against Clemson in 2016. So Troy's not a team to take lightly. I think Boise State wins the game, but I don't think it's going to be by that much. I think it's going to be a 7-point victory for Boise State. Next, we've got, actually, I'm going to come back to that one. Let's just quickly go over Louisville versus Alabama. Nothing really to talk about. Lamar Jackson's in the NFL. See, Alabama, they only don't win. Not only do they win on opening weekend, but they win with authority. They lay the hammer down whenever they play. And I see this being the case again. I think Alabama wins by a bunch, probably 63-7. So yeah, moving on. Number 14, Michigan versus number 12, Notre Dame. This is a rivalry game. Anything can happen. I see there being a lot of nasty hits in this game. But in the end, though, I think the Wolverines come out on top. And the debut of Shea Patterson in the Michigan Wolverines uniform. A lot of nasty hits to look out for. I see there being a couple nasty hits toward the beginning of the game because this is a rivalry game renewed. I'm taking the Wolverines. Number 8, we're on the Sunday night game. Number 8, Miami, Florida versus number 25, LSU. This is going to be an interesting matchup. This is a very intriguing matchup. We got a great quarterback battle between Malik Rozier and Joe Burrow, the Ohio State transfer. Excuse me. But before I even make a prediction, you got to admire that Miami, Florida is going to have these uniforms that are just completely made out of ocean waste. I felt like that was interesting. I just found out about that yesterday, and I think they're going to look pretty interesting. At least it'll look interesting week 1 under the lights against LSU. I'm not picking Miami for that reason. I'm picking Miami because I think with the way Miami ended the season, I think they're going to be putting a chip on their shoulder. This team, the older a team gets, the more disciplined it becomes. Last year, I'm not going to say it was kind of fluky, but nobody really expected them to start off 10-0 or 11-0. Nobody expected them to go on that run in the season last year. Nobody expected it. But now the people expect it. I think they're going to be disciplined. I think Miami will start off the season with a win. Labor Day night game. Number 20, Virginia Tech versus number 19, Florida State. I like this matchup. We got an ACC battle to begin the season. Top 20 matchup. Willie Taggart going to lead the Seminoles out. And I think Florida State's going to play the chip on their shoulder this year as well. With what they went through last year, they're coming off a bad season, 6-6 season. Jimbo Fisher left for Texas A&M, and according to DeAndre Francois on Twitter, kind of without telling anyone anything. And with Francois going down in week 1 last year, was kind of just a huge detriment to the Florida State team last year. Jimbo Fisher going after a fan in the stands, something about how he wasn't coaching very well and he wanted to get his blank down here then and try it. If he thinks it's that easy. With Willie Taggart coming in, I think he's going to have his team ready. I think the Willie Taggart era in Florida State is going to start off with a W. I like Florida State to get the win. I think this is going to be a great game from start to finish. ACC battle, but I think that difference is going to be the home field advantage. And I think Florida State gets the win. And finally, the game of the week, number 6 Washington versus number 10 Auburn. A top 10 matchup to start the season. How exciting is that going to be? I like this quarterback battle we got here. Jake Browning on one side. We got Jarrett Stidham on Auburn. I think this is going to be a great battle. I think we're either going to get a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game. I'm not really sure yet. But either way, I think the difference in this game is going to be Myles Gaskin in the running game for Washington versus that Auburn defense. I think this would be a great game, start to finish. This is the game of the week for a reason. Top 10 matchup. It's going to get really nasty. I see there being a lot of big hits in this one, kind of like in Michigan and Notre Dame. But the thing I like about week one as well is you don't really know what to expect. Some games will start off slow this weekend because the teams don't really know how to come out because they're so antsy and they're so excited to finally play, finally get some hits on people that aren't on their own teammates. So don't be overwhelmed if like you're betting on spreads or anything, or like betting on over-unders and you're seeing like in the middle of the first quarter there's still no score yet. It's nothing really to panic about. It's just that the teams, it's going to take a little bit to get into that rhythm. So if like you're betting over and unders or like you're betting spreads, like don't even panic yet if it's like in the first quarter and we see like a 0-0 game. The team just need to get going. Like give them till about the start of the second half to get going, then start panicking. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Washington versus Auburn. I think Washington's going to get the win here. I think it's going to be a very close game. This is kind of a toss-up for me. I think it's coming down to the running game here. And I think Myles Gaskin will be the huge difference in this game to get Washington the victory. I think Washington's going to win by a score of, well, I did say we're going to get a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game. So I'm going to say Washington wins 34-27. They're going to get a high-scoring, kind of middle-of-the-pack kind of scoring. So those are my 10 regular predictions. The bonus games, Northern Illinois versus Iowa. Northern Illinois is very notorious to pulling off upsets against teams in the Big Ten, but I don't think Iowa falls victim to this. Even though Iowa has some suspended players for that opener, I think they still have the talent to get the victory here, but I don't think Northern Illinois goes away in this one. I think Northern Illinois keeps it close, but I think Iowa's going to end up ultimately with the victory 28-24. I think it's going to be that close of a game. Cincinnati and UCLA, the Chip Kelly era in UCLA is going to begin with a W. I like UCLA to pull off the win against Cincinnati. So those are my picks for a review if you're keeping score at home, which I'm hoping you do keep score at home this year because I want to see how I really do because sometimes I can't keep track of that stuff. So my winners for week one, Stanford, Oklahoma, Texas, West Virginia, Boise State, Michigan, Alabama, Miami, Florida, Florida State, Washington, Iowa, and UCLA. So those are my picks for the week. Comment your picks down below. Also, is there a game that maybe I didn't necessarily predict, but you want a prediction for? Leave that in the comment section down below as well. Enjoy the first weekend of college football. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Well, I don't really hope. You better enjoy it because it's been so long. It's going to be so exciting. I'm hyped for it. You better be hyped for it as well. See you next time.